see me, you can't see you. Okay, hello and welcome to Gaswell's Garage. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Pat.
And we're the Gaswells. We're going to be trying to put a K24 Honda engine into a Porsche. Well, what's left of a Porsche 914, let's be honest.
It used to be a Porsche 914.
Well, I mean, it's still there somewhat. There's still stuff in there.
A lot of it's on the floor, swept up.
Well, actually, most of it went in the dumpster, didn't it?
Yeah, it's got some rust issues, or had. Most of them are repaired now at this point. But why this car? Why would you pick such a weird car?
Well, when you're a young boy, you dream of owning a nice car one day. And so I was when I was 17, I was always going to the bookstore, looking up, different magazines.
What's a bookstore?
Well, back in the day. And I picked up this magazine, Porsche, February of 1993. I was 17 years old. Just dreaming of owning some badass car one day. Well, strolling through it, in the very back, I see this one picture of a Porsche 914, except this one's got a custom body kit on it called a Monterey. It's made by Beach Boys Racing. And I fell in love with it right then and there. I was a 17-year-old in love. Because I knew that a 914 was even then, poor man's Porsche. And the reason I knew that is because my brother had one, he didn't have shit. So I knew that I could at least afford getting a Porsche 914 one, but that one was $16,000, and to a 17-year-old, that might as well have been $1 million.
And what year was that, 93?
1993. And I've held on to that damn magazine ever since.
Yeah, to give you an idea, I remember I bought my first new car in 1990. It was a Nissan hardbody, I think it was $7,000, I want to say.
For a new car.
Yeah, so that was a lot of money back then. $16,000 was quite a bit.
And that was no engine, no transmission. And no wheels. So, anyway, I fell in love with the car, and I've been searching for one ever since. Come 2 years ago, when the pandemic first started, I came across an ad for this beautiful machine here.
Some assembly required.
And the shitty thing is, the picture the guy put up in the ad is when he got it. It wasn't of the current condition of the car and all the butchery he did to it. But it was this car, and it was a Monterey. So we struck a deal. I really got it for next to nothing because it is a complete pile of junk, and he needed it gone. This idiot actually cut out the center section of the firewall here, which we'll show you in the future.
And that's a structural support.
Yeah, I mean, structure, who needs structure on a car that's going to have a few hundred horsepower? I mean, come on now.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
why did he cut it out?
He cut it out because this genius was planning on putting a straight 6 from a Nissan inside there. What he was thinking, I don't know. So he actually planned for his engine to come in through the firewall into the part where you sit, into the interior.
That might make it hard to mount the shifter. There'll be a balancer in the way.
Hard for a lot of things. Not to mention something breaking, you die because your engine's literally between you.
Yeah, that would suck.
So, anyway, that's the backstory on why I wanted this particular car. Now let's talk about this particular engine, because a lot of classic Porsche people will hate what I'm doing. And I've already gotten people saying why, wrong and why. Why are you doing that? Well, the bottom line is I'm an average Joe just like anybody else. I go to work every day. We happen to work for the same company. And I can't afford, having this badass Porsche engine. If I want between 400 and 500 horsepower. And to do that in a Porsche engine, you're looking at $30,000, $40,000. Then, on top of that, if you end up blowing up the engine, it takes out your $30,000 to $40,000. You're just out. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, the Honda K24, who don't know, it's 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, and it's basically the big block for Honda's 4-cylinders. Now,
that's cute.
Well, it's cute, but it's their big block 4-cylinder. So this thing is so amazing that people are actually pulling out over 1,000 horsepower out of this little engine. And when you consider, you know, back in the day, you had to have this massive engine, supercharged, everything, big block, the whole 9 yards, V8 to get 1,000 horsepower. Now they're doing that out of this tiny little package.
Why not an LS?
The reason I didn't want to do an LS, one is because everybody else is doing it. It's been done, you know, for decades now. I wanted to be different, first of all.
And they do make a kit for this 914 internals to put an LS in there.
They do make a kit to put an LS in there. It will fit. Very tight, but it will fit. But the bottom line is, I mean, it's been there, it's done that, and I want to be a bit different. So we're definitely going to be that. On top of that, I mean, gas prices are damn near $7 a gallon now. The way for those who don't know about the Honda engine and the way the VTEC system works. So on your cam lobes, you got 3 lobes, and the 2 outer ones are running all the time, and that's giving you your daily drivability and your gas mileage. Now, only when you stomp on the pedal does that third the middle lobe end up actuating, and that gives you your instant power. So this engine actually gives you the best of both worlds. Now, going back to why this engine instead of the Porsche, once again, I want between 400 and 500 horsepower. Whereas, it can easily be done with this, but in this particular engine, this only costs, on any particular day at any particular salvage yard, you can get a good one for $700 all day long. So if I blow this up, I can just go grab another one for $700. Unlike the Porsche, where I'll be sitting there out $30,000, $40,000 just crying my eyes out.
So what you're saying is this is like a Japanese LS.
This is the new LS. I mean, for sure. I mean, it's not. Everyone literally is putting this into everything.
Yeah, and I've been doing some research. I'm into the hot rods and classic cars, not so much this stuff. But I have been doing some research, and they're putting this motor in everything: trucks, Mustangs, Camaros.
Just type in
boats.
Just type K24 turbo into YouTube and see what comes up, because, like I said, they're putting them into everything, and they're destroying everything. People are putting these into their Hondas, turbocharging them, and going out and destroying Lamborghinis.
And you're going to have similar power to the LS. You know, a lower end built LS with half the weight. That makes sense.
And I'm getting the gas mileage.
You'll have your foot in it.
Well, when I'm cruising to Vegas, I'll have my gas mileage. Around town, not so much, let's be honest. I mean, I'll have my foot in it, I'm going to be playing. I'll be following all the laws, though. You know, I'm not going to go over the speed limit, of course, ever.
Unless we're in Mexico. So, what transmission is this? Let's talk about that.
Okay, this is like a 2000 to 2004 Porsche Boxster S 6-speed transmission. So it is pretty much bulletproof. It's one of the strongest transmissions that Porsche ever put out. So it's perfect for our situation. We did get a adapter kit from Renegade Hybrids to help bolt this all up. So as far as the transmission goes, behind the engine, we have all the adapters and everything to get the transmission working properly with no problems, you know. And we're going to show you step by step in the future episode what it takes to actually bolt all this up, because the one thing is there's no videos on how to do this. So in the future, you know, Renegade will be able to say, hey, go to Gas Holes Garage, episode blah, 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 and then you can see what it takes to bolt this up.
Yeah, they've already done all the homework and all the engineering on getting the transmission in there in the proper location so everything works correctly. They've got the adapters, the axles. The transmissions bolt in, and that dictates the location of the motor, so that pretty much locks the location of the motor in, so that'll be just mounting the motor at that point. And then the wiring and everything else to make it run.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, beyond that, we also have a nice big brake kit for this. 4-piston per caliper brake kit. That also comes from Renegade Hybrids. It's got big 996, Porsche 996 calipers to go all the way around. We're going to be putting a sway bar in it, which this car never had in the front. We're going to put coilovers in the rear, cleaning everything up and making it a solid car. The first couple episodes, we're going to be showing you the metal work that my good buddy here has been taking care of. I really got to thank Pat for helping me out on this project because, if I was just building this car, I'm a shade tree mechanic. I am a custom painter somewhat, and I am a complete badass when it comes to airbrushing. But I don't have the technical skills or the tools that this man has. And so that's why I got down on my knees and begged him to help me. And he must have been drunk because he said yes. That's all I can think of. I have no idea to this day why you would ever agree to this.
I was trying to imagine it held together with 2x4s and I didn't think it'd work.
Oh, so you did it to save my life. I appreciate that, That's awful nice of you. But the bottom line is, this is going to be an amazing machine when we're done. Like you said, the first thing, we just want to hear this thing run. That's going to be the main thing. After that, we're probably going to get a turbo system in there to really bump up the power. But step one, as far as engine-wise, I want to hear it run, get that squared away before we go turbo. So, what else?
You couldn't find a car in better shape.
Not with the body kit.
Do you know how many of these that they actually made?
From what I've heard, and what I've read, 60? No, there was about around 350 of the Monterey kits that were built.
And some were a hard top and some were convertible, correct?
Correct. Some of them kept the structure of the Porsche 914 and not cut it out to be a convertible. And this one is the convertible. So.
And if you think we're destroying a classic car, it's a valid point. It is a rare body kit that was done by someone local in Southern California. There's 300 of them made. I heard 160, so somewhere in there. This car has been wrecked on every corner. It's been through who knows how many body shops. Yeah, this car is hammered. We're kind of starting from scratch and customizing a custom, and I think we're going to update the looks of it a little bit, bring it out of the Miami Vice 90s era, and make it look somewhat newer. Yeah.
So we do have a big mouth 996 front bumper that we're going to try to graft into it to make the front look a little more modern. What do you call it, rockers?
Yeah, the body skirts on the outside, side skirts.
The side skirts that were on there were horrible.
Yeah, they look like rock sliders.
They were straight out of the 80s. They were flimsy. They were crap.
They stuck out about this far.
They were nasty. So we're going to be building some custom ones for those. As far as the vents, we're going to get rid of these 930 type vents. And we got some Boxster S vents we're going to be grafted into there. And then the rear on the bumper, we don't really know what we're going to do on the rear bumper. We're thinking of making a diffuser type situation shoved into the back there. Once again, this car was completely molested. The front bumper alone, when we took it off, must have weighed, 50 pounds of Bondo?
Oh yeah, it was 2-inch thick Bondo. As you can see in some of the spots where somebody ground through, there's quite a bit of Bondo in here. We want to rectify that. And there'll still be Bondo in it, but not an inch thick.
Yeah, whoever built this at one point, I don't know if they had stock in Bondo or what the situation was in that. But yeah, don't think we're cutting up a classic because this thing has been so molested. If it wasn't for me getting it, it would have went to the crusher.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody on the planet, other than me being an idiot, would take this on.
and you'll see in some of the later, or the upcoming videos, the firewalls are all cut. I mean, the floor was hammered in it. I'm trying to think, the only thing that's good in it is the longs. They're pretty solid, they're not bent. The one good thing is when I put the car up and leveled it off, it sits flat. It's within a 1/16 of an inch. It's not twisted up, it's not crushed, but basically outside of here and outside of there, it's been hit everywhere at one time or another.
Yeah, all four corners have been hit. You'll see that. You know, he's been going through and fixing up all the rust. He's been fixing up all. The worst part is the damage from previous owners and what they've done. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad. But you know, if
Basically, to put it back to when it rolled off of the assembly line, I guess you'd call it, at Beach Boys Racing, it would probably be $20,000 to $25,000 just in sheet metal, and that's just to have it as a roller. So you're looking at, you know, what, $50,000, $60,000 to put it back to the way it was, to have a nice $20,000 car, maybe. So yeah, it's not worth saving.
no, not in any way, shape, or form. But it is very much worth customizing. So we're going to make this into one amazing machine, front to back. It's going to have smooth reliability, power, the whole 9 yards. You know. Anything else?
I think that's about it. Should probably check and make sure the sound's picking up.
But we're gonna try one more time though. So if you like this type, please follow the build. Please like, tab, share, follow, subscribe, and if you can, please give money to St. Jude. So I'll talk to you later. We'll see you in the next episode where it's going to be going back in time because we're going to be showing you episodes from the past where we started doing all the metal work and all the work my good friend here did. So peace out, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time.